What's up? This is TheWon, and you're watching The Sport of Kings.
Wildcats.
Well, they call me TheWon, the one and only. I make sure your girl is never lonely.
It's the Sport of Kings, Maryland
Welcome to Week 3 of the National Football League. I'm your host, the one and only Jodecideion, and you're watching The Sport of Kings. Before we get started, let's take a look back in a little segment I like to call What Have We Learned? What did we learn during Week 2? Those Cowboys are them Cowboys. The game is not over until it's over, and the next generation's time is now. That is what we learned during Week 2. It's now time to see who for Week 2. Completing 31 out of 51 passes, throwing for 510 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Eli Manning of the New York Football Giants is your beast mode quarterback. Rushing for 172 yards on 26 carries and scoring 2 rushing TDs. Reggie Bush of the Miami Dolphins is your beast mode running back. Your beast mode wide receivers go to the dynamic duo of Hakeem Nicks and Victor Cruz of the New York Football Giants, both catching at least 10 passes, both going for at least almost 200 yards receiving, and both scoring 1 touchdown. Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz are your beast mode wide receivers. Your team beast mode defense goes to the Green Bay Packers, accumulating 7 sacks and 4 interceptions, also holding the Chicago Bears to 1 touchdown. The Green Bay Packers is your team beast mode defense. Eli Manning, Reggie Bush, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, and the Green Bay Packers defense all for Week 2.
And this week's bonehead move of the week goes to the Washington Redskins wide receiver Josh Morgan. You gotta hold your composure at the end of the game. Don't hit the DB with the ball. That's what he's trying to do. Get in your head. You cost your team field position, putting yourself out of field goal range, basically kicking a 60-something yard field goal to tie it. That would have been big. You never know if Washington Redskins go 2-0 with RG3, and you gotta chill with that. Bonehead move of the week. Mr. Morgan, you it.
Now join the S4Y Picks and Predictions show on the PNK Sports Network, already in progress. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Week 3 of the S4Y Picks and Predictions show on the PNK Sports Network. I'm your host, the one and only Jodecideion, and my man to my left.
Yeah, your boy S4Y.
Brought to you by Haterade. Is it in you? Yeah, everybody, we're now at Week 3 of the NFL 2012 regular season. But before we give you our picks and predictions for this coming week, we want to take a look back at some of our favorite highlights and moments of Week 2. S4Y, what are you feeling on Week 2?
Well, what I was feeling in Week 2 was cool. Andrew Luck got his first win only in his second NFL game, which I think it took Peyton Manning about 4 games or 5 games to do. So he kind of knocked that out. That was kind of cool to see. RG3 still doing good. Kind of surprised, but not really surprised about the Dallas, going up to Seattle and just dropping that. And overall disappointed with the replacement referees this week.
Yeah, I'm totally feeling you, man. I want to give a big shout out to all the young QBs, man. A lot of the guys, they got their first wins. Old dude, Wilson, whatever his name is, up there in Seattle. Old Tannehill down in Miami, and of course, Andrew Luck. RG3 could have had another win. He could be 2-0, man. He's playing real well. He's definitely, in my way, what he's doing right now is more impressive than what Cam Newton did last year. Because Cam Newton, it felt like it was just him being a superior athlete out there, amongst boys. But RG3, I feel like he's playing quarterback, but he's playing it like at a level like almost like a kind of Joe Montana style, where it just seemed real easy. It's real relaxed. It's effortless almost in a way. He just feels it's real comfortable. Also, man, of course, I gotta say this, man, because I gave him a moment last week. I showed him some love. I'm from Texas, and of course, I gave some love last week. But man, the Cowboys, they who we thought they were. You know what I'm saying? They this team that just don't know how to be consistent. You never know what you're gonna get, but most of the time, what you get is always gonna be bad. And so when I look back, that's what I'm feeling during week 2. Going 2-1 and 3-0 last week, with an overall record of 3-3 and 4-2. Here are our picks and predictions of the 3 most interesting games of week 3. Game number 1, Sunday afternoon, Fox Sports. The 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles heads to Arizona to play the Cardinals at Phoenix Stadium. The Eagles, who, no matter what they do, interceptions, fumbles, just all kind of mistakes, they found ways to win the game, and surprisingly won last week against the Ravens. And they have the Arizona Cardinals, who, for some reason, are actually playing a lot better than they look, and surprised the Patriots at Foxborough last week. This is a good matchup for both teams, and the winner of this game is going to have at least 2 games up on almost the entire NFC. S4Y, what are you feeling about this game?
Well, I know the Eagles are going to be favorite in this game, but they can't be doing these mistakes like they've been doing for the last 2 games. And the Cardinals, you could look at them like they've been playing good, but you also could look at maybe that was also New England's bad offensive line. But I'm gonna look at it like this. I think the Cardinals are gonna pressure Vic. Vic is the one who's throwing these interceptions. If he still keeps doing this, they're going to lose. I know they're good, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals with an upset. Still press Michael Vick, throw some picks, maybe to get some fumbles. And I think Arizona pulled this off. Is at home. They excited over there. They 2-0. Nobody would have been thinking that right now, but I think they are better than what people think. So I'm gonna go with Arizona as a shocker over Philly.
You know what, man? I'm kind of feeling what you're saying too. My gut says go with Philly because they're the dynasty, they're the dream team. You know what I'm saying? They got all these all-stars across the board on defense and offense. But you look at the Arizona Cardinals, man, what they've been doing the past couple of weeks. They've been playing, of course, in the second week, New England Patriots, a high-power offense, and their defense with the corners, Patrick Peterson, those type of guys, they've been holding it down. They definitely been putting stress and heat on the quarterback, of course, like Brady. And as we've seen with Vic, he's been a cat who's been giving up that ball. He's been getting hit a lot. He's been throwing interceptions. He's been fumbling. That fumble that happened last week, which was a fumble, they didn't get awarded. That's been happening a lot with Vic. And so you got a defense that's going to actually put real heat on you with real bona fide stars on defense. I can see the Cardinals defense putting something to the offense of the Philadelphia Eagles. At the same time, the Arizona's offense, their running game is kind of suspect, and their passing game, you have Fitzgerald out there doing his thing, but you're still not sure about the quarterback. But the Eagles, they've been playing teams with above average offense as well, and they're still getting up the yards and touchdowns. And so I definitely agree with you. I can see the Cardinals getting an upset, or at least holding down home field. So I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals as well. Game number 2, Sunday afternoon, CBS Sports. The 2-0 Houston Texans heads to Mile High to play the Denver Broncos. At this time, we don't know the outcome of the Monday night game against the Falcons, but still, this game is important to the Falcons because the Denver Broncos, by far, is the best team they've played so far in this early season. And also, Peyton Manning is the best quarterback they've played so far. So, this is definitely a measuring stick game for the Houston Texans. The Texans are looking great. Their running game with Aaron Foster is just second to none. Matt Schaub is still being Matt Schaub, throwing the ball to Andre Johnson. The offense is clicking, and that defense is just unstoppable. And then you have the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning. Like I said, we don't know the outcome of the Atlanta Falcons game, but I still believe that with Peyton Manning, they have a great chance of winning that game. And that's the main thing. The Peyton Manning factor is what's important to this game. As for why, what are you feeling about this game?
Well, to me, I think the Texans, this is going to be a big game for them. Denver is playing at Denver at Mile High is big, but Texas, they haven't played a team like this. A Hall of Fame quarterback, Peyton looking good, and they need this challenge. They got to be the big dogs out of the AFC, and Texas want to do that. They are 2-0. They want to be 3-0. They're going to a hostile environment at Mile High. You know how that place gets. You can ask Pittsburgh on week 1 about that. And if Peyton hitting all his cylinders and that defense is playing, they good. But I think the Texas running back Foster is too much. The quarterback, the defense, Peyton probably ain't even face a great defense like this. Not knocking what we know about what the Falcons could do. They got a decent defense too, but Texas is prime number one. They are no joke. I think Texas is gonna come out of this one.
You know what? I'm gonna go the opposite, man, and I'm surprised because I'm not really a big Peyton Manning fan. I mean, I respect him as a quarterback. I like him as a personality, but it's one of those things where I just never rolled for that dude like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't ride for Peyton Manning. But you got the Broncos, Denver, Mile High. This is gonna be a real big game, especially if they win tonight against the Falcons. You have them coming in 2-0 and pretty much for them, the third best game they played so far. Because the Broncos been playing high quality opponents the past 2 weeks, you know, the Steelers and then the Falcons. So the Broncos are definitely battle tested. And you have the Texans coming in who made the playoffs last year, who want to show that they're part of the elite of the AFC. And Miles High, like I said, they're rejuvenated, you know what I'm saying? They just real hype. They feeling like this is their year. Peyton Manning's gonna take us to the promised land. And so I can see all that adding up. Peyton Manning playing well in big games like he do. The city being at a buzz, the team, the defense, the offense, everybody just playing top level. I can see the Broncos win this game. It may be a close game, but I can see them win it. So I'm going with the Broncos. And our final game of the week, Sunday Night Football, NBC Sports. The 1-0 New England Patriots play at AT&T Bank Stadium versus the Baltimore Ravens, who are also 1-1. The Patriots were upset last week by the Cardinals at home. The offense wasn't looking too great due to the pressure Tom Brady was getting, and they also lost Aaron Hernandez for a couple of games. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, who look extremely impressive in week 1, and were playing pretty well in week 2, but just couldn't hold them down in the end, allowing the Philadelphia Eagles to get a win. S4Y, what are you feeling about this matchup?
Well, this matchup to me at Baltimore Ravens house favors the Ravens with the New England offensive jelly line, I like to call that, and with no Hernandez, they looking all crazy. Wes Welker ain't really getting utilized for some reason the way they usually would use them, so I'm not sure with that, but I'm pretty much sure they'll get that together. But for the Ravens, it's going to be a big game. This is always a big game for them going after Tom Brady with Ray Lewis, and I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. I think Flacco needs to step up if he want to be elite. These are the teams he needs to beat and to stand ahead of the pack. Don't want to be 1-2. One of these two teams are gonna leave out of here 1-2. That's not gonna look too good. Baltimore Ravens is favored in a lot of areas to go to the Super Bowl, so they need to win this type of game.
Exactly. I picked these guys to go to the Super Bowl as my pick, and so if they're gonna do it, they got to start now with this game. They could have been 2-0 going to this game, but they allowed one to get away. And so you look at the matchup, the Patriots coming to their house after last year's AFC Championship, where basically they beat the Patriots in every way, but just allowed them to get the victory to go to the Super Bowl. And Falco, this dude's been talking all this noise about being elite, about he's the best quarterback, but he has, one great week in week 1, and then week 2 he's playing like an average cat. And so he's going to be elite. He want to be one of the top dogs. He got to show in this game. At the same time, that defense, who, I don't know if because they were on the field a whole bunch last week, or just what the situation was, but they gave up almost like 500 yards of total offense to the Eagles. And the Patriots, they have an offense like that, even with Hernandez being hurt. Welker and all the other cats out there catching that ball. And so the Baltimore defense with the Sugar Ray, with the All-Star Ed Reed, they got to come with their A game and really put some heat on this dude, Brady. So I'm picking the Ravens as well, but it will be a hard game. Thank you for watching the S4Y Picks and Predictions Show on the PMK Sports Network. I'm your host, Jodecideion.
And your boy S4Y.
Thanks for watching. See you next week. Yes, we want to thank everybody for the almost 1,000 views of last week's video in this series. Please keep watching. Please keep supporting us. And just, thank you.
Yeah, and one more note, once again, I'm just saying the same thing. Thanks a lot for watching. Like the page. Also, comment below. We'll appreciate that. Also, also predict against us if you think, it's the opposite of what you think. So, it's all good. Thanks a lot. Keep it up. And I'll see you next week.
Once again, thank you for watching The Sport of Kings. We'll see you next time. Take care.